Spoiler alert. This theory has to do with recent events in the manga, mainly chapters 117 and 118. If you're not caught up yet, I would recommend you do that before watching this video. In chapter 118 of Bungo Stray Dogs, Atsushi's emotional arc culminates in a deeply traumatic moment. Since the beginning of the Decay of Angels arc, Atsushi's internal struggles have shifted from self-doubt and insecurity to a profound fear of isolation. This shift highlights a core aspect of his character development. Atsushi has found strength and identity in his connections with others, particularly the armed detective agency. These relationships have given him a sense of belonging that he had never experienced before. However, when Gozen systematically kills all of Atsushi's friends in front of him, it thrusts him into a state of utter despair. Atsushi's worst fear, the fear of being alone, comes true in the most brutal way possible. In this moment, he is emotionally shattered, reaching his lowest point, feeling powerless and forsaken. This sets the stage for Fyodor's manipulation. Fyodor, known for his ability to exploit people's vulnerabilities, appears at the perfect moment, offering Atsushi a lifeline. Fyodor's offer is not merely a gesture of help, it is a psychological maneuver designed to prey on Atsushi's deepest fear. Atsushi's state of mind, overwhelmed with grief, isolation, and hopelessness, makes him especially susceptible to Fyodor's influence. Fyodor might present himself as the only person who can offer Atsushi a sense of purpose or salvation in this moment, further deepening Atsushi's internal conflict. Thematically, this situation forces Atsushi to confront the balance between his reliance on others and his inner strength. While Fyodor's offer may seem like a lifeline, accepting it could mean betraying his values and the memory of his fallen friends. This presents Atsushi with a critical choice. Does he succumb to his fear and accept Fyodor's help, potentially forsaking his principles, or does he find the strength within himself to persevere, even in complete isolation? The chapter's ending thus teases a significant moment of transformation for Atsushi, one that could define his role in the unfolding conflict with the Decay of Angels. It could lead to a darker Atsushi, who is more vulnerable to manipulation, or it might become the catalyst for him to discover his inner resilience, no longer dependent on external validation for his sense of self-worth. Expanding on the ending and tying it into the epilogue of the last episode of the Bungo Stray Dogs anime, where Akutagawa once again comes to Atsushi's rescue, adds a compelling layer to the narrative. Throughout the series, Akutagawa and Atsushi's relationship has been one of rivalry, conflict, and, at times, mutual respect. Their dynamic is deeply intertwined with the themes of self-worth, strength, and identity, as both characters have consistently challenged each other to grow. At the end of the anime, when Akutagawa appears just as Atsushi is battling Gozen alone, it serves as a significant callback to their shared history. While Atsushi has always been haunted by his fear of isolation, Akutagawa has represented both an antagonist and, paradoxically, a figure who pushes him to confront that fear. Their relationship has evolved from outright hostility to a complex connection where Akutagawa, despite their rivalry, understands Atsushi's struggles better than anyone else. In this pivotal moment, with Atsushi at his lowest, fighting Gozen alone, emotionally devastated by the loss of his friends, Akutagawa's arrival marks a crucial turning point. His appearance disrupts Atsushi's sense of isolation, but in a way that's different from the support Atsushi receives from his other friends. Akutagawa doesn't offer emotional comfort or companionship in the traditional sense. Instead, his very presence challenges Atsushi to rise above his despair and fight. Akutagawa, with his fierce and ruthless nature, represents a path that Atsushi has always feared but now might need to embrace, tapping into his inner strength and refusing to be crushed by loneliness or weakness. Akutagawa's intervention can be seen as a symbol of Atsushi's ongoing struggle to reconcile his fear of being alone with the harsh reality of the world he inhabits. Akutagawa himself has always been somewhat of a lone wolf, relying on his strength and his connection with Dazai for validation. In this way, his arrival isn't just to save Atsushi physically but also to remind him that strength can come from within, even when one feels utterly alone. Moreover, the rivalry between Akutagawa and Atsushi has always had an underlying mutual respect, even if they rarely admit it. Akutagawa stepping in to save Atsushi shows a deep recognition of their intertwined fates. In many ways, they are two sides of the same coin. Both seek approval from Dazai, both are struggling with their self-worth, and both have been shaped by their tragic pasts. Akutagawa's arrival is a reminder that Atsushi is not alone in these struggles, even if they manifest in different ways. Thematically, Akutagawa's intervention at the end could serve as a powerful statement about the nature of strength and reliance. While Atsushi's fear of being alone is valid, the presence of Akutagawa suggests that Atsushi isn't truly alone. There are others, even rivals, who understand him and who can push him to overcome his fears. Akutagawa isn't a comforting friend, but he represents an essential part of Atsushi's journey towards self-acceptance. In conclusion, the moment where Akutagawa arrives in the final battle is not just a rescue in the literal sense. It symbolizes Atsushi's deeper internal battle and his eventual realization that he can draw strength from his connections, even from unlikely sources like Akutagawa. This sets the stage for Atsushi's potential decision to reject Fyodor's manipulative offer, as he learns that being alone doesn't necessarily equate to weakness, and that strength can come from within as well as from those who challenge him, like Akutagawa.